Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome to TopSol Business Hour. My name is Akinshola Ogundia, and I'm so glad that we are making it again today. It's been a very busy weekend for me, and for those of us that live in Palma de Mallorca. Well, some of us. So, tonight, like I promised us, we're going to be starting something very huge and something very big. And like I said to people, it's actually the core, of our ministry, TopSol, and it's about business. So we really want to start talking about business. I want to say thank you to Clevener TV and radio for giving us this platform and this opportunity to air our program. It's been wonderful. The quality has been great, and we've been having good and great comments, from all over the world. So please, the only thing you can do for me tonight is to click share on your tablet or your phone or your computer right now, and let others be invited. Invite all your friends and let them join us tonight, because tonight we're going to be talking on a topic that is extremely important, a topic that so many people have been waiting eagerly to hear about: how to start your own business. And that's what we want to start. Like I said, it's going to be a series, okay? It's not something that you can finish in a day or a month. No, it's going to be a series. So from now onwards, I don't want you to miss the program. Every Monday by 8 o'clock, we're going to be talking serious business. From here, we're going to be having investors. We're going to be having people that have ideas, people that have opportunities, people that are in business that wants their business to be better. We're going to be promoting some businesses, as God will give us the opportunity, and as you also will be ready to promote your businesses. We're going to be doing a whole lot of things from now onwards. But tonight, we're going to be starting with an introduction. What is business? And how do people see business, okay? Because when you say starting your own business, a lot of people have different ideas about what business is. And the truth is that when you don't know the definition of a thing, when you don't know what a thing really means, there's every possibility that you're going to abuse it. There's every possibility that you're going to be scared of it. You remember that when you were young, there were lots of things that you were scared of. But as you grew older and you knew much about those things, you find out that the fear disappears, and you begin to handle those things or manage those things even without fearing them, except for some things. And for some of us, like I used to fear dogs when I was very little, because there was this little puppy that chased me around in the bush path, when I was young, and I was falling down and people were laughing at me. And from that day onwards, I fear dogs. Up to now, I still fear dogs, but now I know how to manage them. I know how to run away from them, with style, especially when I'm with my kids. So that's the same thing about business. When we demystify the idea of having businesses or running businesses, then it makes it possible for people. It makes it accessible to people. It makes it possible for people to understand what business is really all about. What exactly is business? Tonight, I'm going to be starting so gently and slowly. We're going to be doing a lot of motivation, a lot of teaching, a lot of questioning, and of course, inspiring you to do that which has been in your mind for a long time. But one thing I need to say to you is this, and I need you to understand this very clearly. We have different spheres of life, okay? We have seven. I used to divide my life into 7 major areas, okay? We have the social, we have the spiritual, we have the health, we have the physical, we have the academic, we have the family, we have the political, and all that. But we have the financial also. Now, one thing I need to tell you from the start is this: if you ever want to be financially free, if you ever want to become abundant financially, if you want to prosper financially in this present life, I don't know about the life to come, but in this present life, you must understand what business is all about, and you must be involved in business. You're already involved in business, but you must be cautiously involved in business. So if you have been thinking about it, you've been praying about it, maybe some of us saw the advert at the beginning. That has been our advert. It's on our page also on TopSol. I said that a lot of people have different opinions about wealth, okay, about financial freedom. Some think about it, some pray about it, some wish for it, some hate it. They hate the idea of, talking about money or saying that you are wealthy and all that. But whatever you think about it, however you wish for it, how much, however you pray for it, there are some that are making it. Okay, so it's all about perspective. But the truth is, it is not possible for you to be financially free without having a business. Okay, now, even if miracle happens and you have a lot of money, that doesn't mean that you can sustain it. If you don't have the business acumen, you cannot sustain that wealth. It's biblical. Okay, when Jesus gave the talents to you, the servant, you remember the parable, not Jesus. When the rich man gave the talents to the servants, and he went and came back, what did he say to the one that did not multiply his talent? He said, "How be it that you could not trade with this talent, even if it was to invest it." So investment is a form of business. Even if it was to invest it and just get, returns on your investment, you could have done the least. That's the least. Okay, because a lot of people believe that when you have investments, you're going to become rich. Maybe it's possible, but I mean, for you to become rich with investments, your investments must be large, because the person you are investing into also wants to make a lot of money. So he's going to give you crumbs from what he makes. Okay, I mean, we're going to deal with a lot of stores. Okay, but let's start gradually. But what I'm trying to say in essence is, if you have ever dreamt or prayed or wished for financial freedom in this present life, then you must love this topic. How do you start your own business? What business should you do? So tonight, I have a book. I didn't bring a hard copy tonight. I'm still going to introduce the book as my producer will permit me in the course of this, programs. It's called Breaking Business Myths. Business Myths, that's the title. It says breaking them and starting your own business to success. So there are so many myths about business. I actually have 12 myths about business in that book. It's a very small book, but very powerful. I have so many testimonies about that book, but I'm going to bring it one day and share with you. But tonight, we're going to be treating the first chapter of that book. Okay, this series is not about the book. Okay, so don't think, but that what we want to do tonight is actually well explained in the first chapter of that book. I mean, introduction to business. What is business? Who is supposed to be in business? I have a couple of questions that people have asked me, and I'll be treating those questions tonight. One of the questions says, is business for everyone or some specially cut out people? A lot of people believe that not everybody can do business. That my father used to say that I don't like business. I mean, I'm not the business type. Shola, you are the business type. Your brother is not the business type. So is it true that there are some people that are business type and some people are not business type? So we're going to look at that question tonight. We're going to look at the mystery behind that. And also the other question is, why is it difficult for people, especially consultants, someone like me, to tell you a specific business that you can do? I've had a lot of people come to me and go like, "Shola, please give me a business idea. I really want to do business." And the truth is, I would have loved to. And when I start with them, if I talk for like 1 hour, I would have given like 20 business ideas. I mean, I'm gifted for that. That's a gifting. Not everybody can do that. But I always have different ideas. And these are brand new ideas. And they look very wonderful. By the end of the day, the person goes like, but all these ideas, they look wonderful, but I don't think I can do them. So at the end of the day, they go back and go like, okay, but I told him to give me a particular idea. I was just saying so many of them, and I can't even do any of them. So the question is, why is it very difficult for the consultants or people to advise you on a business that you can do? Why is it? Because a lot of us, that's what we look out for. I know a lot of people that go on the internet, on YouTube every day looking for how to make money from home, how to start your own business, what business you should do. And then they listen to all kinds of ideas, and at the end of the day, they've not started anyone. So why is it so? Why is it difficult for people to start up businesses even at this age that everyone is talking about business? Everyone is talking about making money from home and all that. Why is it difficult for people to pick up those ideas and start it and succeed with it? I'm going to be looking at that question again. And also the last one, I think I have 3 questions for now. If you still have questions, you can send them in. Okay, you can just type them in. The last question I have here, it says, is it possible to have a business and still work for other people? Because this is one idea that lots of people have, that people that have businesses, they cannot work for other people. So we're going to look at that briefly also as time will permit us. So tonight, I'll just start with introduction on how to start your own business. So what is business? Let me try and do simple definition. I'm not going to take anything from books, okay? I told you I don't teach from books. But as I was pondering and ruminating over this topic, what came to me, the definition that I came up with about business is this. First of all, business is not an act or an activity. Okay, business is a science. And when you talk about science, when you call something a science, it means that it has its logistics and its mechanisms. There is the mechanical part of business, there is the logistical part of business. Okay, there is the moving part and there is the base part. Okay, so it's a science. When you say something is a science, it means that there are so many elements that are interconnected. Okay, for example, there's not going to be an health system if we have doctors, health workers, nurses, and then we have the workers in the hospital, then we have the structure, which is the hospital, we have the equipment, we have all the machineries, and there are no sick people. Then it means there is no health system. Okay, so what makes the health system are so many elements. You have the hospital, you have the health workers, and then you have the sick people. If everyone in the world is wise, if everyone is knowledgeable, if everyone understands everything, I believe that's what's going to happen in heaven, okay? Maybe nobody is going to be teaching us anything in heaven. But as far as this earth is concerned, not everybody is knowledgeable in everything. But assume that everyone is knowledgeable and there is no need for anyone to learn anything, then there's not going to be a school system. So why is it a system? It's a science because there are so many components and elements that connect together that makes that system work. Look at human beings. We are humans and we are alive. Why? Because we are made up of systems. The circulatory system, respiratory system, what other system? I forgot now. Biology, it's been so many years, but we are made up of systems. And if one of those systems is not working, then the man, even if he's going to be alive, he's going to be dysfunctional. Okay? So a man also is a system, is a living organism. And that is how business is. So that's why I said business is the science of providing service, goods, and products to people that are in need of them for exchange of value. That's my definition of business. So when you think about business, you need to think about all the elements that make up a business system or that science of called business. So it's not just an act or an activity. It's not just a means to make money. No, because that's the idea a lot of people have. You know, I said earlier that if you want to be financially buoyant and free, you have to have business. Now, and I said you have to be cautiously involved in business, okay? So business is not just about starting an activity or putting up an act to make money. No. Business is not just opening up a store and putting products in it so that you can sell to people and make money. No, business is much more than that. Business on its own is a system. Okay, so if you have that understanding, then I think for you to really have the understanding, then we need to understand the elements that make the system work. So before you can say that you have a business that is running, or before you can say that you want to start a business, then you need to understand the elements that make the business. Now, in the book, I'm talking about my book, that are called business myths. The first myth I said is that business is not for everyone. You've heard that said so many times, and that's what I want to start with tonight. A lot of people believe that business is not for everyone, okay? Some people believe that, no, listen, I'm not into business. It's like people that tell you that, no, I'm not into politics. I anchored the program, was it yesterday? And I was saying on air that, listen, every man is a politician, whether you like it or not. The funny thing in life is that a lot of times we claim that we are not something, but actually we are. Whether we like it or not, we are. For example, you cannot live alone in isolation. You are a part of an ecosystem. So it's not by choice, okay? That you cannot choose that. You cannot choose to be isolated. No. Because you are part of a system. You are part of an ecosystem. So whether you live passively or you live actively, that's your business. But whether you like it or not, even when you are dead, you are still part of the ecosystem because you become a manure. Okay, so you can't run away from that. And the same thing about business. You can't run away from business. You can't run away from politics. What makes politics is a system also. It's a system of the government. Okay, what makes politics is you have people that lead, and you have people that are led, and you have policies that they use to govern themselves. Is that not what makes politics? So the only time you can tell me you are not a politician is when you are not part of those three elements that makes the system. Okay, so your hand cannot tell me that it's not part of your body. It's a lie. Even if the hand is withered, it's still part of that body. It's just dysfunctional. Okay, so if you are not leading in politics, you are being led. That's the truth. So when you are not leading and you are not being led, then you are not a politician. But as far as I am concerned, if you are part of that system, then you are part of it, whether actively or not actively. And the same is business. So let's look at the elements, some elements, okay, that are involved in business. I'm going to read a little bit from my book, okay. So, I mean, why not? Let me share chapter 1 with you tonight. Chapter 1 says business is not for everyone, okay. It's a myth. And let's look at it. I say here that business is a way of life rather than an act or activity. Until it is perceived thus, the myth that says business is cut out for specific type of people will remain valid. So until we understand that business is not an act or activity, that it's a way of life, then you will always believe that business is for a particular set of people. Now, but let me jump quickly so that I won't repeat myself much. Let me just jump to the elements that make up business, okay? So let's see some elements and consider how we relate to them. So I have 5 elements here that make up the system that is called business. So you begin to think where you are right now as you're listening to me. Begin to think if you are part of business or not. Number 1, we have the products or the services. Now, these are the commodities or services exchanged for value in business. Let me tell you something. Without that element, there is no business. Okay, if there is no good or product or service that is being offered, then there is no business. So it's one key element in business, and that's what a lot of people consider first. Okay, which is extremely very important. I mean, it's one way to go into business. It's one way to perceive business. You perceive it from the goods or the service that you can offer to people. It's good, but it's an element that is key that you cannot do without in business. Number 2, we have the consumers. The consumers are the people that pay for the commodities or the services, or people that receive them. Sometimes they don't pay, but they are the ones that receive the goods or the service. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you eaten today? Now, if you have eaten today, it means you bought some food, innit? Now, as you're sitting down right now, or working or driving, wherever you are listening to me right now, if you're putting on some clothes or clothing, it means you bought them. So whether you like it or not, you are a consumer and you are part of business. Now, some people don't want to hear that now. So you are part of business, okay? Because that's an element that you cannot do without. Can you imagine if I heard the news yesterday, also on the program that I anchored, the young man that we talked to was telling us that Thailand recently, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, they declared a lot of loss, a lot of debts in the exportation of rice. Why? Because the country they export rice to the most is Nigeria. But the Nigerian government right now, they are into lots of production of local rice. And so the importation of rice really reduced in Nigeria. And so Thailand lost a lot of money. Now, that's business, isn't it? But what is the element that was missing? Was there product or service? Yes, the rice was available. But what about the consumers? The consumers have reduced. So it means that if there are no consumers, there will be no business. It's like a church. If you open up a church and there are no members at all, then there will be no church. There will be no congregation, not church. There will be no congregation. So if you continue like that for 1, 2, 3 years, you eventually close up. Why? Because there are no consumers. There is no one that is taking up what you are given. It's just like this program that, I consider TopSol Business Hour as a business. Why? Because I'm giving out value. But if there is no one receiving it, every time I try to check, are people listening? I need the feedback. If the feedback is not there and I continue for 1 year and the feedback is not there and no one is responding, no one is listening, no life is being blessed, then there will be no business of TopSol. Are you getting what I'm saying now? So the second element is extremely is as important as the first. So if there are products, there must be consumers. So ask yourself tonight: are you a consumer? Of course, every man is a consumer. So you are part of business. You are a key element in business. Number three are the suppliers. All right. Now, this is the perspective from which most people see business. And that's why a lot of people say, no, business is not for everyone. No, not everybody can be a businessman. Now, the suppliers. These are the people that offer the goods and the services. These are the manufacturers. These are the producers. These are the service providers. And a lot of people believe that they are the ones that make, a whole lot of money. It's not so. Not only these people make a lot of money. I'm going to get to that. I mean, it's gradual, okay? So because a lot of people, when it comes to the financial benefits, the beneficiary part of business, we believe that only the suppliers make money. But you will soon find out that it's not so. So even if you are not a supplier, maybe you are not a producer, you are not a retailer, you are not an wholesaler, you can still make money. You can still actively be part of business in this world. Okay? So, but this element is also very important. So, what if the products are needed or the services, but there is no one to produce it? There is no one to offer it. What happens? There is no business in that area. Okay? So, it's another key element. I say the suppliers, these are the people in charge of making the commodities or services available to the consumers. Number four, I call them the advertisers. It's still part of business. I mean, do you know that there are lots of people? Why am I coming on social media to air my program? I can as well, just call few friends. I used to do that before. I had few friends that came to my office and we just discussed business. We teach each other. We encourage each other. And that was it. I mean, I could have continued like that. But no, if we'll still get to that, your business has to grow. Okay, whatever you're doing in life has to grow. Why do we have TV stations, religious organizations, governments coming to the social media, coming on air, coming on TVs and radios? Because they have to expand. They have to advertise what they are offering. Okay, so it's an important part of business that has killed a lot of businesses. And it's an element in business that if you don't take advantage of, you might actually die struggling with your business. So advertising, I mean, it's in different ways. Just listen to it. Let me just read from my book. It says that this could be people, okay? These could be people, media, or systems through which the products are publicized to the consumers. So it's not only the social media or the TV. No, it can actually be people also. They are the people that talk about your product. They are the people that share, what you're doing. And then you can see growth. And then it becomes, the business grows and it becomes established. So let me ask you a question. Have you recommended anything to any friend recently? I mean, maybe you bought a bag of rice and then you felt like, wow, this rice is good. And you just called up a friend like, I just bought a bag of rice. I think this rice is good. It's better than the one we used to buy. Do you know what you have just done? You have just played a part in business. You've become an advertiser. Okay, now you see why where we are coming to now. That's business. There are some people that they don't have products that they are selling. They are not involved in selling of goods and services. Probably they don't even consume the product, but they advertise and they make a whole lot of money. As a matter of fact, I think that in the world today, the advertisers are making more money even than those that are really making the supplies. And of course, more than those that are consuming. All right. So that's another element in business that is extremely important. And if you are part of that, I mean, most of us are. I've talked about certain products today to people. I've talked about certain services to people. I've given advice to people on what to use and what not to use. So what am I? I'm an advertiser. So I'm part of business, whether I like it or not. And the last one is the control. This is where lots of people come in and they don't know. Let me read that element to you. These could be government or private institutions responsible for making sure that the consumers and the suppliers are satisfied with the commodities. They could also be the consumers who are critics of the products. Have you criticized the product recently? Have you criticized any service recently? Like, oh, that internet was too slow. It was terrible. I mean, have you written, I work in customer service for a company, and I received loads of calls and messages every day on product, on our service, on transportation, on logistics, and all that. And as people criticize us, we need those criticisms. Why? Because that is what helps us to make our business better. That is what helps us to make our services better. So criticism, the critics become like a control for us. We didn't pay them. Okay. A lot of things that we do every day naturally, and we are not cautious with the fact that it's actually business. We're not cautious of the fact that we are part of business. Do you know how many times you've criticized services? You just enter into a bus and you see that the bus is shattered, or the seat is torn, and then you cry and say, hey, look at this, the driver, this seat is bad, you need to change this. Do you know what you've just done? Do you know that people get paid to do that? All these companies that now check the accounts for people, KPMG and all that, what do? They check the books, they check the accounts. If €1 is missing here, they criticize the account section. If the quality control, they criticize the products, they criticize the packaging. And companies pay millions to these people. Why? Because they are involved in the control business. And you are there doing it for free. Every day you call them up. This drink is terrible. I mean, you could have made it better. And you think that you're just destroying their business, not knowing that you're actually doing what you should have been paid for. And that's why I said, if you are cautious, if you are very careful, you don't find it difficult to understand what business is all about and how you can be involved in business. Personally, I love people that are critics. I don't listen to too many, okay? I think one day I'm going to talk about that. I think I've talked about that before. You don't need too many of them, okay? Because sometimes it can be cantankerous, it can be very damaging. But you need a few critics in whatever you do. Why? Because they help you to better your quality. I was speaking with the pastor when I went to Madrid last week, Tuesday, and he said to me, listen, this is my YouTube channel. You can listen up and listen to my messages. He said, listen, I was just finishing listening to my message on Sunday. I said, your own message? He said, yes, because I have to listen to my messages every day. He said, because I have to know where I messed up, where I need to correct myself, where I need to improve. That if I don't do that, if I allow people to do that to me, it's bad. I was like, wow. I mean, so feedback is extremely important. And these are the things that we do free of charge. And we don't know that it's an element in business. Okay? So that's the fifth element I want to talk about. So my question to you now is this. Are you a businessman or a businesswoman or not? Looking at these elements, if you are part in any way of these 5 elements, then you're a businessman or a businesswoman. You just don't want to accept it. You are part of business. Because without these elements, business cannot work. And if you are one of these elements playing that key, then the question is, how are you seeing yourself? So, that answers the first question. The first question, like I said, is business for everyone, or some people are specially gifted to start business? Business is actually for everyone. Whether we like it or not, we are all into business. Hello? Whether you like it or not, you are into business. Every man is into business because you are one of the elements that is making business work. Now, I'm shocking you tonight. So, the question now is, business is about perception. How you perceive it. How much understanding you have about it. So if you really don't perceive it the right way, you will think that you cannot do business. My father that used to say that he is not cut out for business, he now has a fish business. He has some other businesses that he's doing. Why? Because he got retired and they are not paying his pension, and now he has to survive. And now he thinks that, okay, maybe I can do 1 or 2 businesses. I told him then, I said, if you had started this earlier on, you wouldn't be where you are today. And that's the same thing with a lot of us. A lot of us have believed that we are not cut out for business. We are not supposed to do business. I'm not the business type. Not knowing that unknowingly you have been doing business. You have not just been paid for doing business. So you need to begin to change your orientation tonight. Let me round up with what I said here in my book. Okay, I'll just read a little bit more. I said, thus, if we consider these elements in business very strictly, we discover that one way or another, all of us are involved in business every day of our lives. It's just the parts we play that differ. So my question to you tonight is, what part are you playing in business? Are you playing the part where you are receiving, or you're playing the part where you only give? And I will finish up, and that's what I finished with in my book here. I'll finish up with these illustration of football match. I love football a lot, and can I say, yeah, I'm a Real Madrid fan. Okay, we're not doing good this season, but I mean, we're going to get something. Okay, but anyhow, I'm a Real Madrid fan, but I love other players too. I love Messi, Neymar, and all that. I love football. I just love good football. Anyway, now let's take, for example, the Real Madrid and PSG match that's going to be played tomorrow. Okay, I'm going to be watching that anyway. Do you know how many people are going to be involved in that business? Let's call it a business. It's actually a business, okay? There is a lot of exchange of values and money and everything that moves around in football. But let's look at the whole picture, okay? Everyone that is involved in the football match. Let's look at the elements. Number one, we have the clubs. Okay, we have the Real Madrid club, we have the PSG club. There are people that own those clubs, or let's call the presidents of the clubs. Okay, Florentino and the other guy, I don't know his name. But these are presidents of the clubs. I believe they are very rich. I mean, they pay them well and stuff like that. Some actually own it themselves, no? I mean, so let's believe that they are the owners of these, teams. And then we have the players. And then we have the coach and the assistant coaches, the medical personnel and all that. We have the players that will be on the bench. We have the players that will be playing. We have the people, that take care of them and all that. Then we have the referees that's going to blow the whistle during the match. We have the linesmen and stuff like that. So we have the officials, okay? Then we have the media. The TV stations, the internet TV stations, and the newspapers, the media that promotes these matches. And then we have the gaming, companies, like all these betting companies, the Bwin, the Lotto. I think there are so many of them. Now, and then we have the spectators. Now, if you look at the football match tomorrow, I mean, I'm just guessing. I don't know the real statistics, but I can tell you that nothing less than, say, 10 million people will be watching that match live. I mean, they're going to have about 20, 30,000 people in the stadium live watching it. They will pay to watch the match. There are people that will pay for satellite connections to watch the match. There are people that will pay to go to, centers to watch the match. In all over the world, maybe more than 20 million, maybe 10 million, 20 million people will watch the football match. But my question is this. Do you know that if they keep on playing football in the world and no one is watching it, what happens? Very soon, football will lose value and it will close up. The business is going to close up. So what am I saying? The spectators, they are as important as the players that are playing. And that's why they respect their spectators. They respect their fans because they know that is the source of their income. Now, but my question is this. How many people actually are making money out of football? If you count the people that will make money from the PSG match tomorrow, if you count them one by one, probably they're not going to be more than 10,000 or 100,000 people. Do you know the why I put the number that high? Maybe because of people that will win some of these gaming bets that they put money into, and they win a little source of money. I mean, a little fund, from their betting. But the truth is this: the players are going to be getting millions. The club owners are going to be getting millions. The advertisement that the media will receive is going to be in millions. The betting companies, the money they're going to rake from people is going to be in millions, maybe billions. These are people that are really making money. But there are going to be more than 9 million people that will not make €1 out of that match tomorrow. The same thing applies to business. But those 9 million people, are they part of the game? Yes. In fact, they are extremely important part of the game. But they are not making a dime from that game. The same thing is happening every day. I was trying to, imagine how much money goes in circulation in the whole world, especially in retail. In Forex alone, for those people that trade Forex has a capitalization of trillions of dollars. That's the money that exchange hands in a day, trillions of dollars. So how much more retails? I mean, there is no way you can measure that. We're talking about trillions and trillions. If there is something called zillions and zillions of dollars or euros every day, because people must buy something. They must buy water, they must pay for this service, they must take the bus, they must pay for electricity every day. You can imagine if you calculate all that together in the whole world. That is how much money is going in circulation every blessed day, every minute in the world. But my question to you is, how much of that is coming into your hands? And you are part of that. You are part of that system because you also buy things. You also spend every day. So, are you part of the 9 million people that will watch the football match and clap their hands while just 100,000 people put the money in their pocket? So, business is about mindset. It has nothing to do with a calling. Maybe you are called to do business. No, you are not called to do business. You are in business. Every man is in business. Only the people that have the right perspective know how to make the money to come into their pocket. It's as simple as that. Someone, came up the other day and said, okay, what I want to start doing now is to criticize products and companies. And he opened a YouTube channel and he will bring up a product and say, oh, look at this product. The fault with this product is this. The fault with this product is that. And people love to see that because they want to be sure of what they are buying. People started subscribing to the channels. They started watching the program. Before you know it, companies started coming to this guy and say, listen, if you talk bad about a product, we believe that if you talk good about it, people are going to believe you. They started paying him in millions of dollars. Was he using the products? No. Was he manufacturing the products? No. Was he retailing the products? No. What was he doing? He was a control. He was just a critic. And he's making millions of dollars from that. I'm not saying everybody should start going on YouTube and start criticizing every product or service. But what I'm saying is, he changed his orientation. He changed his perspective about business. He saw the part he was playing in the game and he changed it. I used to tell people, if I'm not going to bet in a football match, I'm not going to play the match. They're not going to invite me. I'm not going to they're not going to place advertisement on my channel. I won't watch the match except for Real Madrid. Only Real Madrid. I watch it when I have the time, just for leisure. But I see people, they will miss appointments. They will miss even job opportunities because there is a match. For heaven's sake, what is wrong with you? It's only business. Change your orientation. Change your mindset. You are such a fan and you're complaining that you don't have a business. That's business for you. Go online and start talking about football. Start analyzing the football. I don't know, maybe by the time you have fans, someone is going to place advertisement on your program or something. Change your orientation. Business is about mindset. So the reason why a lot of people are not into business is because they have a wrong mindset about business. Some people don't even want to hear about business. When you tell them that, I love business and I love to do businesses, they're going to, these people, they love money. It's about money. No, it's not about money. It's about having the right idea. Personally, what provokes me, what motivates me to do business is service. I love to serve people. Every time I see a problem that is related to what I do or what I know, I see an opportunity to serve. And of course, there is no way you will serve and serve well that people will not reward you for it. Are you getting my point? Now, I'm not going into how to start a business and all that. But what I need to establish tonight is that whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, you are a businessman. You are a businesswoman. You are just doing it unknowingly. And it's a shame if you keep doing that. Why? Because you can change your orientation. So how do you begin to see now business? You need to begin to see business as a system. And you need to admit and understand that whether you like it or not, you are part of that system. So what you need to do, you need to begin to change the role that you play. You have always been the consumer all your life. Then you need to begin to think of how to be a supplier. You need to begin to think on how to be an advertiser. Do you know that is what some people do? Marketing. I met a young girl here when I came into the studio. Maybe she's going to be about 12, 13 years old. Lord Jesus. This girl was promoting, she was just playing. She wasn't on screen, but she was just playing. She was just dramatizing because the mom is a presenter. And she was just talking about the product in Spanish. Like, this is good for you. You need to get it. It's so cheap. And I was like, my mouth was wide open. I was like, Lord Jesus. I said, if not because we are in Europe, if it was in a place where there is not going to be a child abuse for a child to advertise, this girl's going to sell. I said she's not going to sell because of the product she has, but she's going to sell because of her personality. And there are lots of us that we know how to talk. You know how to talk. And when you talk, people listen. Then be an advertiser. It's not difficult to do. Of course, you don't have to think about money. Okay, but what I'm saying to you is, if you really want to have business that will bring money for you, you need to begin to think first about the role you are playing in this life of business. Business is a lifestyle. It's not an activity. It's not something you just come and develop. Of course, business has its own development. That's why I said it has the mechanical part and it has the logistical part. But definitely, it's not just about the mechanics and the dynamics of business. I'm going to talk about that, maybe next week, because we need to understand the mechanics and the dynamics of business, okay? But the dynamics is, what keeps it running every day. But the mechanics, that's what you need to, where you need to plan, you do budgeting, you do your branding and all that. That you can learn later. But the first thing you need to understand is that you need to have the right mindset when it comes to business and starting businesses. So I believe that tonight you have a better perspective about starting business, because a lot of people don't even know where to start. Listen to me. The first place where you need to start is to understand the role that you play. Personally, everyone is a consumer. Everyone, even the producers are consumers. The critics are consumers. The advertisers are consumers. Everyone, even those that the control agents, they are consumers. Everyone is a consumer. But you cannot stay on that level. Can you make money as a consumer? Yes. There are people that make money as consumers. Have you seen that before? Have you seen this guy? He does a program on TV, I think Food versus Man or something. I began to look at it. This guy is a consumer. He loves eating. And he thought about, okay, what can I do? How can I make money eating? Okay, I'll go to restaurants and I'll tell them to give me a challenge. And this is my program. And he designed it. And he went to different restaurants. And they give him challenges of food. And he ate. And if he won, and he began to get adverts, and different restaurants began to call him, because every restaurant he went to, he advertises them. So how did he start? He started as a consumer, but he changed his mindset. It's all about mindset. It's all about mindset. So if you're unable to start a business, it's because you have not started thinking right. I don't mean to offend you by saying that. I just meant to say the truth. And what I mean by thinking right is the orientation or the perspective you have about business. Business is nothing difficult. It's just as good as breathing in and breathing out, living in and living out every day. As you have seen, every day there is so much business going around, and unknowingly we are all part of it. So tonight I want to stop here. I want you to think about it. I want you to, reminisce about that. Analyze your life. Analyze everything you do. What role have I been playing? Knowingly or unknowingly? I'm a critic. I criticize services a lot. I love standard. I love things to be good. I love things to be done well. When you want to do anything, that's my principle in life. Anything that is worth doing is worth doing well. And excellently well. But I need to make money being a critic. You need to begin to think in that line. Oh, thank you very much. For those that are sharing this video, I want to say thank you very much. And I'll begin to take some questions from next week. Okay, so all the questions that I have tonight, I'll take them from next week. So, like I said, you need to begin to understand the role that you play. Once you can understand that, then we can start by changing your role. Instead of being a consumer, you can change to become a supplier. Instead of being a supplier, you can become an advertiser. By the time you change your roles, and that has to do with personality, all right? So that's why everybody cannot succeed. That's why it's difficult for you to go to a consultant. I'm going to the second question now that says, why are they not able to tell people a particular business that they should do? Because business, like I said to you, is not just an activity. It's a lifestyle. And every man is different in his own way. Okay, so I cannot just look at you and say, oh, you're funny, you should be a comedian. No, it has to come from your inside. So it's something that you live. Business is what you live. Someone said to me, as I'm rounding up, when I was serving in Katsina, I love agriculture so much, especially animal production, and I practice that a lot in Nigeria. And this man had poultry. And I asked him a question. I said, how can I be a successful poultry farmer? And he looked at me straight in the eye. And he said, you become a successful poultry farmer when you begin to love the smell of the feces of the chicken. I said, what? He said, that's when you become a successful poultry farmer. And later I asked him, I said, I don't really understand that. He said, listen, a lot of people don't like poultry because it smells, it stinks. And for you to clean the sheet of the chicken every morning and all that's the part that people don't like. They want to have poultry farm and employ people. He said, but they will not succeed. He said, until they love the smell and it smells like food to them, they cannot be successful. What he was trying to tell me is it has to be a passion. I have to have passion for it. So whatever you don't have passion for, you cannot do. So how do I know what you have passion for? I can give you hundreds and thousands of ideas, but if you don't have passion for it, it's not going to work. So I stopped giving people ideas. I always ask them, who are you and what do you want to become? What do you want people to know you for? If you can define yourself, you can define your business. If you can define yourself, you can define your business. So that's why it's very difficult for someone to give you, a ready-made business idea. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. You can take the horse to the stream, but you cannot force the horse to drink water. It has to be willingly. The horse has to drink willingly. There are some people that don't love money. They don't love to make money when they do business. They just love to serve people for free. So it's not going to work if I give such a person a business idea that will make him a millionaire. It's not going to work. Such a person needs a business that is non-profitable. A business that is not profitable, that will not bring money, like a social work. Such person can build an hospital and give, medical services for free. That has to be with passion. But if I give such an idea to someone that is hungry and really wants to make a lot of money, he's not going to run it. Okay? It's not going to run it. So what I want to say here tonight, as I round up, thank you very much. Oh, Michael Omoshebi, God bless you. That's my good friend from Lautech. So, like I said, I've been able to answer two questions. Is business for everyone? Yes, everyone is into business. And why can't I give you a concrete business idea that you can run with? No, it has to do with your passion. It's personal. And that is what I want to do. So it's personal and it has to come from your passion. And is it possible to have a business and still work for someone else? I'm going to answer that next week. Is it possible for me to have my own business and still work for someone else? I will answer that question next week. What does it mean to even work for someone else? You need to be here next week. So I'm going to stop here tonight. Like I said to you, I want you to go back and think about it. Business is a system. Business is a lifestyle. It has 5 elements. It's either we have the products or the services. We have the suppliers, okay, the people that give the services and the products. We have the consumers, which everybody is. We have the advertisers, and we have the control. You need to understand the role that you play. And is it possible for you to start your own business? Yes. When you're able to tell who you are and what you want to be, and you are able to tell what role you play, then you can tell whether you need to change the role you play or you continue in it, and how do you make that your business. I will begin to expatiate on that as from next week. But thank you very much for watching tonight. I hope you've learned one thing or the other. I want to appreciate everyone that has joined tonight. I really appreciate you. I mean, I see a lot of likes and comments. Thank you very much. So many people. God bless you all. And next week, 8 p.m. Central European time, I'm going to be here and we're going to be digging deeper. I won't tell you who I'm going to be bringing this month, but I'm going to be bringing someone very powerful this month, and it's going to blow your mind. Thank you very much. God bless Clevener TV. Please subscribe to that channel. There are lots of things that are coming up in every sphere of life. You need to subscribe to that channel and get the latest programs from them. Thank you very much. Love to you from my wife and TopSol Business Ministry and Network. God bless you. I'll see you next week.